magicians. You know, they do sleight of hand. They do fancy moves with the chips. They change the size of their bets. They do this. They do that. It had nothing to do with sleight of hand. It's all psychology. And I said, really? And he said, yes. He said, of course, you just can't switch a bet like that and claim the dealer made a mistake unless you have a little psychology involved to convince the dealer that you made a mistake. So then he takes me through the steps of this move. It's called a 1005 pass post. This is the first move I ever learned, a 1005 pass post. Why is it called a 1005 pass post? Well, a 1005 that's the $1,005. That's the two $500 chips with the red chip on top. Pass post is a term that comes from horse racing back in the 20s when bookmakers used to fix races and they knew who was going to win, so they would make the bet after the horses passed the post. The post is where they start the race. So basically they were betting when the horse already won the race. And this is what Joe was explaining. He was pass posting bets on a blackjack table. So the idea was to bet $15 and pass post $1,005 and claim to the dealer after he got paid, hey, you paid me wrong. And I'm just like, come on, give me a break. And then Joe just showed me step by step how it works. Now, one thing he had done, which I didn't even notice, is when he went and he switched the chips, right? Under his elbow were hidden 5 more $500 chips. They were hidden under his elbow, okay? So he went and he switched the chips. And while he switched the chips, he grabbed Jerry's hand and said, hey, you paid me wrong. And his arm, the chips were underneath his arm, not his elbow. And the chips underneath his arm now became exposed because he lifted his arm purposely so Jerry would see these $500 chips, which are called backup chips. Now, you're going to see exactly how I did this move. So, I really could not believe that this would really work. And Joe starts talking about the psychology behind it. And then he starts to show me, he starts to break it down for me. And the first thing he shows me that while he was sitting at the table, he actually had 5 other $500 chips. And of course, these weren't real chips. These were like training chips that he used. And he had 5 $500 chips underneath his arm that I had never seen because he had it covered while he was playing the hand.